Today I walk in, I hear I'm going to fire him. I'm not firing him. I think he's a wonderful guy.
Tweet something that said fire Fauci. Why did you
fire Fauci?
I retweeted somebody. I don't know. They said fire. Doesn't matter.
This is Dr. Anthony Stephen Fauci. He's widely recognized as one of the world's leading experts on infectious diseases. Fauci has worked in public health for over 50 years and has been an advisor to every US president since Ronald Reagan. He's dealt with public responses to HIV, SARS, MERS, Ebola, and even bioterror attacks. Since January, he's been one of the lead members of the Trump administration's coronavirus task force. And a couple of days ago, Donald Trump retweeted a hashtag calling for him to be fired.
Did you notice that when you retweeted it?
Yeah, I notice everything.
So you retweeted it even though it said time to fire
No,
Fauci?
no, that's somebody's opinion. All that is an opinion.
As Trump has come under increasing criticism for his handling of the COVID-19 outbreak, he's tried to maintain that he's been acting on the advice of experts. Fauci has struggled to remain publicly neutral and supportive of Trump while walking a fine line between contradicting the president and offering his unfiltered professional medical opinion, like the time he had to backtrack Trump's claim that common malaria drugs like chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine were possible treatments for COVID-19.
Now, this is a common malaria drug. We're going to be able to make that drug available almost immediately. And that's where the FDA has been so great. They've gone through the approval process. It's been approved.
Actually, it hadn't been tested or approved for treating COVID-19. And as people panicked to get their hands on the drugs, Dr. Fauci attempted to do some damage control.
Anecdotally, they might work, but my job is to prove definitively from a scientific standpoint that they do work.
Look, it may work and it may not work. And I agree with the doctor, what he said. May work, may not work. I feel good about it. That's all it is, just a feeling. I'm a smart guy.
Then, in an interview with CNN, Fauci finally seemed to crack, admitting that an earlier response from the administration could have saved more lives, but that his advice had been met with resistance.
I mean, obviously, if we had, right from the very beginning, shut everything down, it may have been a little bit different, but there was a lot of pushback about shutting things down back then.
While defending his response to the pandemic on Twitter, Trump then retweeted a tweet that included a call to fire Fauci. Fauci is not technically appointed by Trump. He's a federal employee who reports to the head of the NIH, the National Institutes for Health, the primary U.S. government agency responsible for biomedical and public health research. So the president doesn't have the direct authority to fire him, although this didn't stop Italy's top virus hospital from offering him a job in case it happened. Fauci later seemed to backtrack his CNN comments.
I had an interview yesterday that I was asked a hypothetical question. And hypothetical questions sometimes can get you into some difficulty because it's what would have or could have.
The tension between Trump and Fauci only highlights an already chaotic and confused response to the pandemic. Trump is now firmly set on when the country can return to normal, with reports that Fauci's advice is being undermined by those pushing Trump to roll back lockdown and distancing measures.
I think Anthony would be the first one to say, when I closed the country to China, when I closed the China ban, whatever you want to call it, Anthony said I saved a lot of lives by doing that. I mean, am I correct? I don't want to put words in Anthony's mouth, by the way, and I like him.
But for now, it looks like Dr. Fauci isn't going anywhere.
Not everybody's happy with Anthony. Not everybody's happy with everybody.
Dr. Fauci are on the same page?